What I love about highlighters is that they have that ability to take your skin from looking dull-ish to just looking super healthy and happy and nice. And you can either go super like intense and look like they can see you in space and look super Instagrammy, or you can kind of go for a light highlighter all over your face or even just on your cheekbones or whatever, and to just kind of give yourself healthy skin. So I wanted to do a video dedicated to my favorite highlighters. Most of these you have probably seen on my channel before, because I make a point to not mention highlighters if I don't like them, just because what's the point to be like, I don't like this chunky and glittery. Blah. I always mention the ones that I do like. So you have probably seen most of these on my channel before, but I thought I would do one dedicated video for them. I have all different types here, all different kind of price ranges. A couple of them are a little more expensive because I do find when you go higher end with highlighters, you are less likely to get those really ugly, chunky, glittery ones. Don't get me wrong. Expensive stores still have ugly, chunky, glittery highlighters, but just less of them. So first I want to start with liquid highlighters, because those are sometimes the most fun, because they're really what sets the tone for everything else. So if you want to go over a liquid highlighter with a powder one, that's when you're going to get really intense highlight, but you can always just do the liquid and have a really subtle, natural highlighter. So I'm going to consider the MAC Strobe Cream a highlighter because it is so glowy. In the past year or so, they have launched a whole bunch of different shades. So the MAC Strobe Cream has been around for forever in one shade. Now they have like goldy ones and peachy ones and all of this. So mine is in the shade Pink Light. I wanted the silvery one, and for some reason she gave me the pink one, but that's okay. I do still like it anyway. I like to use this under matte foundations the most because my skin is drier. So to have something glowy under a matte foundation just stops it from looking really dry on my skin. You know what I mean? It'll keep it matte-ish, maybe more demi-matte, but my skin doesn't look as dry as it would if I didn't have this. Less of a pinpointed highlighter deal here, but I'm still going to count it as a highlighter because it does make your whole face glow. On the cheaper side of things are the L'Oreal True Match Lumi liquid highlighters. Mine is in the shade 301 Ice, which is the lightest shade. So there's three. There's this light one that's kind of pinky. There's a goldenier one, and then a bronze one for deeper skins. This is one that I will put on the high points of my cheeks under my foundation. That's what'll give me that really nice natural looking glow, especially on my no makeup days where I actually am wearing makeup and I just want to use like a tinted moisturizer. I will use this under the tinted moisturizer, and that will give my cheeks that extra healthy glow that I wish it had naturally, but it doesn't have. It's amazing for that, but it's also amazing for going over your foundation, giving you more of an intense highlighter, and then you can set it with a powder highlighter for that really intense look. Out of all the highlighters I'm going to be mentioning today, I really do think that this liquid one by L'Oreal is the most versatile. I highly recommend, especially for pale people like me. Next, I have probably the only highlighter palette that you will ever see me own, just because I do feel like highlighter palettes are a little overhyped. They're a little overhyped, and you can never really use all the shades in it, and they're always very expensive. So unless one is gifted to me someday, I mean, it's just a lot of money that I don't have, you know what I mean? However, e.l.f. always comes through with things that are inexpensive. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. I have had this since probably the dawn of time. Like, this launched forever ago. I bought it immediately. I loved it, and then it got big on YouTube like 2 years later. My e.l.f. highlighter palette and I are on our last days together. I really do need to buy a new one. I love all the shades in this. I used the bronzer one as an eyeshadow because I don't really like glowy bronzers, but this pinky shade and this brown shade were my go-to shades for wiping off powder under my eyes, because it never left it looking too matte, you know what I mean, but it wasn't too glowy. However, this white shade, oddly enough, the only one that doesn't look gone in the whole palette, is a great highlighter, especially for pale skin. It's really going to give you a soft golden glow, which is hard to get for pale people, because oftentimes golds are too dark. They have too much dark back pigment for pale people. But this one is really, really nice. It'll give you that white gold glow that we're looking for. If you are pale though, and you're looking for something that's a little more gold than what you're gonna find in that e.l.f. palette, try Becca Moonstone. This is one of those highlighters I had my eyes on for a long time, and then I bought a Becca highlighter and had a negative experience with it, which we will talk about in a second. So I was really hesitant to buy Moonstone, even though I wanted it really bad. And then my friend Sherry bought it for me for my birthday this year because she's amazing. I love her. This is probably as gold as someone at my skin tone will ever get, because it looks gold, but not too dark for my pale freaking skin. So if you are pale and you want to be a golden goddess, this is the best you're gonna get. The Becca highlighter formula is like very soft, very easy to apply, very easy to build, which is what I like about it. You don't put it on, it's like boom, right away. You can go subtle or you can go intense with it. And I have not found yet with a Becca highlighter that it's glittery. That's the issue with sometimes these higher end highlighters, is they try to be so intense that they add a whole bunch of glitter in it, and that's where it goes wrong. Whereas the Becca ones understand that you need to have a highlighter that is buildable and not throw a bunch of glitter in it, and that's what I really like about them. I do own another Becca highlighter. This is Becca Pearl. This is probably the ideal shade for someone who is pale because it is a white highlighter that'll give you that nice icy glow. But if you can tell, we had a little accident, didn't we? I dropped it from like 2 inches off the ground. It was so close, not 2 inches, probably more like 6 inches off the ground, and it shattered. Luckily, all the pieces stayed in the thing, so I can still use it. I just am very careful with the brush, and then we use it, and I never take it anywhere. It just stays here. But yeah, if you want Becca Pearl, and it's a little bit too expensive for you, I have a very cheap, awesome dupe, if you will, for you, and it is the Essence eyeshadow in Snowflake. It does have a lid, it just broke off. This is exactly that. It is just a cheaper version of Becca Pearl. I have both. You definitely don't need both. The Essence eyeshadows, the round ones like this, do make really great highlighters as long as you're paying attention to the color, obviously. So the two that I recommend are Snowflake, R01 Snowflake, and 08 Apricota. I prefer Apricota a little bit to Snowflake just because Snowflake is almost too pale for me. If I put on too much, it does look gray when I turn my head, but Apricota won't do that because it is pinker, so it will kind of go with any light skin tone, whereas Snowflake is just for the palest of the pale. So definitely keep both of these in mind if you're looking for cheaper powder highlighter options. Another powder highlight that I am obsessed with that I only have had for a couple of days now, but it was one of these deals where I stared at it in Sephora and in Shoppers Drug Mart actually for literally months before I bought it. And then one day I was wondering, like, if I had been staring at this long and I want it, why don't I just buy it? If you are a watcher on my channel, you know that the Benefit Dandelion blush is one of my favorite blushes of all time. So when they came out with a Benefit Dandelion highlighter, I was going to love it. This is another really great buildable highlighter. I will say, out of all the highlighters I have and will mention today, this is definitely glittery. Like, it's called Twinkle, right? And that's exactly what it does. It has a couple of little glitters in it that will twinkle. So if you have more mature skin or just wrinkly skin in general, because I don't have mature skin, I'm only 23, but I definitely have wrinkly skin. Be careful with this one because it will catch in those lines sometimes, but it's so pretty anyway that I had to buy it, and I love it and I wear it all the time, and it's so pretty. This one is a expensive highlighter and it looks like nothing really, like it doesn't look like it should be worth that much, but I love it a lot. And I really do love, even though I'm not a fan of clunky packaging, I love the Becca boxed blushes and this boxed highlighter because everything really stays inside. So if you're using it and there's a lot of kick up, the kick up stays in there, so you're not wasting anything. My Dandelion blush, for example, is sample size, so it's like half the size of this, and I've had it for well over a year now, maybe even 2 years, and it looks like I touched nothing because you just need to like dab it in, and that's all you get. So even though the Becca boxed stuff is expensive, it is a really good investment. I highly recommend it. I would almost say that the Benefit box stuff is a better investment than, say, like a Becca highlighter or like a Becca blush, because this broke so easily. And the last product I want to mention today is the highlighter that I have on my face today. If you've noticed this like great shine on my face, I'm obsessed with this. Let me tell you, I was going to buy this at the VIB sale in April, and I didn't. For some reason, I last minute took it out of my cart, and as soon as the package came in the mail, I was like, I wish I didn't take it out of my cart. I had so much regret, so I bought it. Anyway, so this is the Ciate London Dewy Sticks. This is a stick highlighter, and this is, like, when I first saw this, I think it was in a Pixie Woo video, actually. I was like, that's it. Like, the highlighter game is over. Everyone else can go home. This is the highlighter we wanted because that's all it is like a clear gloss for your face. Now, I will say, because it is a stick, if you want to apply it straight from the stick, your best bet is to not have any other makeup in that area. So right now, I'm not wearing foundation, I'm not wearing concealer, so that I could just go front and then blend the edges with my finger a little bit and call it a day. But if you want to put this on over foundation, you're probably going to want to rub it on your finger and then dab it on with your finger. You're going to get less intensity that way, but it's better than getting the actual stick itself all gunky. When you first apply this stick, it is sticky. I will tell you that right now, your face is going to feel sticky. You're going to be like, oh, I don't like this. It will dry down. It will leave your face a little bit, you know when you put on a really good moisturizer and it's not sticky, but it feels plumper and it feels moisturized, that it will leave your skin like that. But just, you have to mentally give it time to dry down like that, because when I first put it on, I was like, whoa, sticky, sticky. No, that will go away. That will go away. I really like this highlighter. It's a really great, like, this is what I feel like highlighters should look like, right? It's just like a clear gloss on my face to make my skin look healthier and happier than it naturally does. You can really see it on this side. That is all this. None of that is my skin. My skin is naturally not that happy. And yeah, so those are some of my favorite highlighters. Please let me know your favorite highlighters down below. If I haven't tried it before, maybe I will give it a try after you've told me to. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. And I will see you next time.